So my name is Julien and I am both a Pilates instructor and a personal trainer. I joined Chile Pilates in January 2014. Professionally, I was a pastry chef. I went on a big journey including a personal training course. So I was employed for roughly a year, but in a productive manner. So it was the structure of it, I think. You have a definite role when you arrive, so you know you're going to be teaching reformer Pilates classes, and you know you'll have time for personal training, but again there's a structure to it, and that appealed me as opposed to other companies where you maybe have a gym instructor title that's very vague and not very fulfilling and not very specific. I knew I was going to do something very relevant and specific from the get-go, and then based on that build a personal training business. Very relevant to the role, so it's a great way to refresh your anatomy, give you the confidence. I think that the big thing is the confidence, both on a very basic, specific knowledge that you will have. Obviously you'll be more confident if you feel like you have the necessary knowledge. Excellent training, again there's that very immersive feeling because you do what you're going to do later, whether by attending classes or by already teaching classes under supervision. Excellent way to be prepared for what to expect. And again, it's a very progressive approach where you get the information like I'd say, fed to you progressively, and then you feel that when it's time to go, you're ready to go. Be available. You have to understand it's a very demanding process and period of time, so you can't plan of doing 2 or 3 different things at the same time. You have to be there, body and mind, and embrace it. When you start something new, when you will have a qualification when you get here, so you might be a sport therapist, you might have a university degree, you might have a personal training diploma, you might have been taught things before in a different way. I think the best way to go through it and then to come out of it, the best possible way is to really embrace everything until you can kind of integrate everything into your own mind frame. More than learn, it's going to put to the test values and things that I'd known in the past, that I'd applied in the past, but it's kind of required me to apply all those values, all those principles to the highest possible degree. So things like commitment, things like punctuality, professionalism. You have to really, hopefully have high standard to begin with and be ready to apply those high standards consistently. Being available, very important, being available to people, being available to the company when there's opportunities to be grasped, being consistent and reliable, because obviously people are going to expect things from you, which is natural. That consistency and reliability will be rewarded as well, so that's a big thing. Human qualities, you have to be likable, of course. You still have to know what you're talking about, so I think technically it's very important to have good foundation, which the academy and any diploma you've done before should offer, to continuous growth, learning, and then paying attention during your sessions, being present during your session, trying to take lessons from every session that you give to make the next one better. And if you kind of rest on your laurels, if you stay complacent, that's not going to happen. So having strong foundations and being ready to build on it, not feeling that when you start your job you've arrived, but really look for improvement and enjoy the process of looking for improvement, not seeing that as a chore. Roughly 6 days a week. On my own personal choice and accord. That's not something that's imposed, that's my choice, and it just happened that way. My time is spread out roughly, I'd say 40-60 between personal training and teaching classes. So 60 would be personal training, a little bit more personal training than teaching reformer classes. Over 2 different sites, 1 or 2 evenings a week, to give you an idea as well. So it's fairly well spread. Days can go from 4 hours of work to 8-9 hours of work. So again, that's going to fluctuate. So that's the general idea. having a mentor specifically for someone like me, previous professional experiences, but not in that specific business, not in that industry, was very relevant because it's very reassuring and useful when you take your first steps, and then sometimes you kind of you can take a misstep. Having someone to give you a bit of perspective, coming from their own personal experience, into that kind of shed light and understanding in a specific situation. It's been agreed that this is going to happen, the discussion is going to happen. You don't have to feel, can I ask him, should I ask him, does he have the time for me? If you have a designated mentor that's got a specific time, amount of time for you weekly or monthly, yeah, it's a great way of support, very supportive to know that there's that time and that attention, and you make use of that, make good use of that.